This is an overview of your final project, which is in 3 steps. The spot I'm at right now, the link that you've clicked on, has the directions, the entirety of the directions, all 3 steps, and two additional documents you can see right here that are used for you to make sure that you cite your sources properly as you work through the project. So what I've done, or what I want to go through then, is the information that's found in the overall directions. Now, the key to this is to read through these directions entirely, but you will not submit the whole thing together, at least not right away. When you're completed, this is the spot, however, where you're at right now, where you will upload your completed document, where you will marry together the 3 sections that you're going to work on through the course of this class and through your reading and such. So what you'll want to do is incorporate things, and this is why it's so critical for you to read each chapter, is things from your reading, things that we discuss on WebEx, the links that you've found, your personal experience, the book about changing culture. All those resources have to come to play here, because you're acting as sort of a consultant and in an advisory role for the organization that you work for. Now, if you don't want to do it on your current organization, you certainly may use one that you've worked at before, but you do have to have something. If you have trouble with that, let me know and I'll help you out as best I can. But it is imperative that you do work on this as we go and as we read on things. And this is a working document, so you will want to make changes, additions, subtractions. As we go through things, you might say you have an aha moment. You go through a forum or a discussion board and you say, wow, I want to incorporate that concept in my recommendations or analysis. That's the key to this. This is a living, working document. It's never really complete in a certain sense. But read through these paragraphs. I'm not going to read this to you because I think you have English as a skill. But do read through this. Understand that these are suggestions and just ideas. This is not the complete list necessarily. So, for example, leadership or change management or timelines or those types of things. Those are things you want to add to this. So don't feel limited by it at all. Anyway, it is divided into 3 steps. Again, you will submit them 1 step at a time. I'll give you feedback about each step, and then you'll proceed. But the united whole of your document or your analysis will be presented or submitted to me through the spot that you're at right now for this assignment. So the first step is an introduction. This is kind of the book report part. Okay, you'll do the whole thing here. History of the organization, mission, visions, kind of the basic boilerplate types of things. Pay attention to the examples that are given, in step 1. But you'll want to, spend some good time on that. This is kind of the background information that will help you put things in context. Okay, the frame within which you're going to work. Step 2 then steps into the area of kind of where you dissect your organization given the coursework and what we've talked about. Okay, and what you've read, like I said before. So the structure, critique. And by critique means looking at pros and cons, strengths, weaknesses. It's sort of like a SWOT analysis in a certain sense. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, where you're going to look at the structure and you'll use as a guide your textbook and the examples and definitions that they give you. And again, our WebExes, your other readings, websites that you've gone to, books that you've read, and so on. That's really key. If you're going to bring this to life, you have to make application. So anyway, you'll step through that. I'll give you feedback, and then you'll move on to step 3. Now, step 3 is where you will act as the CEO, chief in charge, however you want to think about it, but where you're going to move the pieces on the Monopoly board and improve, change, make better, bring to life, rescue your organization. So this is where you really want to, use your creative skills, but also your recommendations should be based upon the analysis that you have provided in steps 1 and 2. So they should tie together. It should not hang out there independent of the work that you've done up to that point. And there you go. So that's pretty much, in a very short nutshell, what you're going to work on and what you're going to do. So you may have to listen to this a couple times to get everything, and please refer back to it. But this is essentially what you're going to work on, your output. So I will entertain questions, but it's always good to have read this a couple times before proceeding. So take care and do your best.